Minnesota Vikings need to rebuild that offensive line. It's a song that remains the same for the past decade plus, right? And yes, 1,000% they need to put a premium on the offensive line in the draft, but also scrape together the monies, the dollars, the shekels, the whatever, and throw it all at Joe Thuney, and that left guard becomes an immediate asset as opposed to a liability for the next 4 to 5 years. Woo! And I know. What about the salary cap? Well, we know. Joe Thuney played on the franchise tag this year in New England, $14.781 million. And I don't think the Patriots are going to re-sign him because they're in salary cap hell, mainly due to Belichick. Well, solely due to Belichick, as well as Michael Onwenu, the rookie fifth rounder from Michigan, who we did not need, because the Vikings drafted KJ Osborne right ahead of him. But he did great this year at right tackle, except his future in this league is at guard. And then also they're committed to Shaq Mason with a 5-year, $50 million deal. So Thuney might be the odd man out. He might become cost prohibitive for the rebuilding Patriots, and then he's going to hit the market. And frankly, I think Thuney hits the market more likely rather than Brandon Scherf, from Washington. Him and Kirk go way back like chiropractic. So again, scrape up all the money and just throw it. Chuck it right in Joe Thuney's face. Make it rain all up in here. Let's go. But Joe Thuney, 28 years young, 6'5", 308, former third-round pick in 2016 out of NC State. Go Wolfpack. Now, Thuney was a senior in Raleigh when Garrett Bradbury was a freshman. So, chemistry. Cool. And also, at the line, instead of talking about protections and stuff, they can talk about Demos Pizzeria, the best in Raleigh or something like that. Woo! Like it. Now, he was a mini freak at the combine. This sort of gets undersold, but great scores in agility in the 40 as well as in the broad jump. And then he started every single game for the Patriots since coming in, mostly at left guard. He did play some center this year after a couple of injuries. 2019, last year, he was the number 3 overall guard in the NFL in PFF pass blocking grade with 87.4, trailing only Zach Martin and Richie Incognito. Perhaps you heard of them. 2020. So the Patriots went through a ton of changes, but Joe Thuney is still elite. A 72.3 overall PFF grade, 11th best in the National Football League. Only allowed 16 pressures and 2 sacks this season on 475 pass blocking snaps. Now, by comparison, Dakota Dozier, okay, so 44 pressures, 6 sacks, and also his 7.8 pressure rate is nearly 2.5 times higher than Joe Thuney, comparing left guard to left guard. And then also you look at Samia, and then also Ezra Cleveland blocks at right guard because he's a left tackle. Cool. Also, frankly, I think Thuney, to a degree, played better this season if you watch back some of the Patriots games, given the changes. So you take away Tom Brady, who obviously not an uber athlete, but is so adept at stepping up in the pocket and buying time and doing favors for his offensive line. And then you replace him with the corpse of Cam Newton, where I will always love Cam, but this year ain't it. And then injuries and shakeups on the offensive line forced them to play some center. Plus, the run game was really hit or miss this year for the Patriots, so it was whatever. Now, costs, all about that money. Catch was everything around me cream. So Spot Rack estimates his market value at $13.9 million a year, estimating a 5-year, $69.8 million deal, which would be nice. Now, I know, why you pay so much for a guard? Well, guard is not like Zimmer and cover 2 cornerbacks. Like, you can't just go down to the 7-Eleven and find them on the corner, right? Even if the Vikings say they go first round guard, which frankly I'd be on board with, Wyatt Davis or Sean Slater or Elijah Vera Tucker or whatever, there's going to be a learning curve. Like, they're not going to come in and just own like Quentin Nelson. Like, that is exceedingly rare. It is. And Quentin Nelson was the number 6 overall pick in his draft for a reason, right? So Joe Thuney is one of the best at his position in his prime, and that comes with a cost. It's like if you have a bunch of lotto tickets where unscratched lotto tickets like, hey, we might hit the jackpot. Otherwise, or you have a scratched up winning lotto ticket, that's going to cost a little bit more. It is. So, what about the cap? Yes, the cap could be lowered in 2021, but potentially not as much with the advent of the 17th game. Awesome. But the Vikings, if they simply cut Barr, Rudy, Steffen, and Dan Bailey, all moves that could be likely, that would immediately free up $17.813 million in cap space. Now, that doesn't even get into potential restructures for Kendricks and Thielen and Dalvin, oh my, and maybe extensions for Harrison and Daniil that could actually lower their 2021 cap hit, or the Kirk Cousins pay cut. Almost like, hashtag cap is a myth. And again, this piggybacks on the video we did yesterday about the Kirk Cousins pay cut. It's like, hey, Kirk, how about you take just a smidge less, and then we'll get Joe Thuney to protect your ass. He may go for that, right? And I believe in the future of guys like Kyle Hinton and Oli Udoh and rookies TBD, right? But the Vikings are primed to win now. That defense, when you got Daniil, when you got Kendricks back, and then also you incorporate another draft class, and then you also have the rookie cornerbacks getting a year more experience. Let's go. And then the offense is already amongst the best in the league, and they would be primo if they didn't have a left guard who continually just killed drives, right? So bring in Joe Thuney, pay the cost to be the boss, show you're serious, spend the money, and let's go. Woo! All right, but your thoughts, Joe Thuney. Get his ass in here, but let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support that work? Post on the Venmo. But until next time, Skull Production Value.